Well, he'd said to you that he spoke 7 languages, that he was a pilot, and as you say, you've got this MI6 connection. You weren't allowed really to take photos. You weren't allowed to have your friends or your family. He's away all the time. Then he said he had a brain tumour, and I think meeting up with him after that with a bandage on his head was the last time you saw him, wasn't it?
Yes, that towards the end of 2012, he told me that he had a gash to his head, that he'd blacked out and fallen down some stairs. He had actually a gash to his head, I saw that. But he subsequently told me that he had been to the hospital and that it had been revealed he had a brain tumour. And again, this all sounds very far-fetched, but I said, well, can I speak to your consultant? Can I come and see you? And he said I wouldn't be allowed into the hospital, but he could meet me. He would find a way to meet me in the car park if I went to park near the neurology unit, which I did. And he came out with his head expertly bandaged and apparently a drain coming out of his head.
How did you find out?
About 6 months after that, I had been to Nice, where I was supposed to meet him, not having seen him for about 5 or 6 months, and he didn't turn up. I was absolutely distraught. And when I got back, there'd been a whole series of missed connections when he said, I must go and meet him here, there, and nothing ever transpired. And eventually I phoned an acquaintance of his who I knew, who Mark had said was going to take me to see him wherever he was. I didn't know where that was. And this person knew nothing about it, and we arranged to meet. And that was a couple of days later. And he told me what he had discovered, and he had discovered who he was.
And he then got arrested in Spain. He was jailed for 3 years on a separate scam under the name of Mark Ross Rodriguez. And I think his passport photograph was sort of readily available from there. You believe that he could have had a wife and 2 children who were sort of not that far from where this big house was. And you have no idea how many other women he did this to.
I have no idea.
And I know that initially you were quite upset with the police because they didn't take it very seriously, but it's being taken very seriously now, isn't it?
At last, and thank goodness for that. But it has been 3 years, a very long haul, and actually I feel that the last 3 years have been not as stressful as the previous 18 months, but it's very, very difficult as a victim of a scam like this to have the pressure, the aftermath of it all.
Yes, of course. Well, you must be. How does it affect your trust? Your relationship with other people. Knowing and picking your life up, having lost your entire life savings.
It's very, very difficult, I can tell you. And the only reason really that I'm still here is because of my daughters.
Yeah. Well, as of today, Mark Acklam has been named on the National Crime Agency's top 10 most wanted. There's now a new appeal to locate him. It's been launched as part of Operation Captura, a multi-agency campaign identifying 10 most wanted British fugitives to be believed in Spain. He's 5 foot 10 inches of medium build with dark brown hair and green eyes. If you've got any information about the whereabouts of this con man, please contact police via 101 and quote reference 7429713. And the police say these offences are being treated as fraud by false representation. In June 2016, we obtained a European arrest warrant for Mark Richard Acklam, who is believed to be in Spain. We continue to work with a number of organisations, including the National Crime Agency and Spanish authorities, in order to locate and arrest Mark Acklam as soon as possible. And, of course, if you recognise that face, if you have a similar story, then contact the police, because I'm sure they'll want to build up a picture. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.